gosh. How do I remove this? Okay. One True Empress agrees with Black and Decker. Okay, let me remove this photo. Well, we'll just have to see what happens with Black and Decker and Stanley Cup in the future. Okay. Next, what the heck? Well, next story that we are talking about. Do we have any? I've asked this multiple times, but do we have any Katy Perry fans in the house? I feel like the more I learn about Katy Perry, the less and less I like her. I love Hi Nessie Time. Candy Cape Cod said, I would hate for Candy Cape Cobb to do something crazy. Yeah, the more I learn about Katy Perry, like I loved her music. I remember, I'm gonna get your heart racing, yeah, be my teenage dreams. She had those cute little songs, but as she's grown and matured, she's just become insufferable. And apparently this is continuing. So here is, remember how I talked to you guys about having capacity to sign a contract? We say that in order to be legally able to, she did have her time. In order to be legally able to sign a legally binding contract, yeah, but yes, you have to be of age, meaning 18 plus. You need to be of sound mind. You need to be not on drugs or alcohol. You can't be under duress, like they can't be forcing you, and a couple of other things, right? So here's why this is important. So apparently, a few years ago, Katy Perry and her husband Orlando Bloom, they negotiated to purchase a home from a veteran by the name of Carl Westcott. Okay, for about some California home. The problem is, Carl Westcott said that when he signed the paperwork agreeing to sell the house to Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom, I'm assuming they're attorneys, he was not of sound mind because he has a neurological disorder called Huntington's disease, and he did not have the legal capacity to sign the contract. So they were in a kerfuffle over that. Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom took this gentleman to court over ownership of the house. They got ownership of the house, okay? So the court said, look, whether you feel you were incapacitated or not, we feel like the merits here say that you were of sound mind when you signed it, so we're giving the house to Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom. They gave you the money, right? They got the ownership of the house, but the gentleman, Carl Westcott, was still living in the house throughout the whole trial and everything. So what they did was they sued him for back rent. So now his family and community are going on social media and basically trying to amplify this story and essentially saying that Katy Perry's disgusting and that she's taking advantage of a disabled veteran, and just, basically using her celebrity and money to push, smaller people out of the way, right? So again, while this gentleman says that he has this Huntington's disease, they took this to court. So someone at the court, there had to be some determination of whether he was legally able to sign a contract or not. Now, I know that a lot of us, we may have family members and things like that who, they may be creeping up in age, or, unfortunately, some of our family members may have early onset dementia, right? It was a $6 million home once, your Empress. So they paid a fair price for it. But it is important that if you have family members who have neurological disorders, that you have legal, um, Nessie Time asked if he took the money first. So when I read the article, from what I read, it doesn't say directly that he took the money, but if they were able to go to court and get ownership of the house, I'm assuming that money changed hands. And he either during the selling process decided he didn't want to sell anymore, or felt like, he got taken advantage of maybe he got cold feet, right? When you guys, when we have family members, friends, people we care about, who we know have, maybe neurological challenges, disorders, things that may inhibit their capacity to make sound decisions, it is important to have, paperwork in order. Make sure there are powers of attorney. Make sure there are checks and balances, so these people aren't signing their lives away. Because while, yes, this is unfortunate morally and socially for this gentleman, the court found that he was legally capable of signing that that contract. So now he's lost his home, and because he was in that home trying to stay in there, when and the court determined it belonged to Katy Perry and her husband, they were able to sue him for back rent. Now that's messed up, because they've got money. Why are you suing him for back rent? But again, if you have family members who, may be in the beginning stages, of some type of neurological decline, you want to make sure that there are guardrails set there to keep things like this from happening. Okay. But yeah, Katy Perry sucks now as an adult. You didn't have to sue the man for the $6 million for the back rent. You could have let him go. But yeah.